Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in. Um, so, I have an update on Hurricane Irma, and I channeled through some information this morning, and I was told to come and, kind of read or channel what's exactly going on. Um, Actually, what came to me was that there are a lot of people in shelters at this present time. And I don't know if there's some type of underlining or hidden agenda that's going on with the shelters. But this is something that came to me, and I was, compelled to come and see exactly what's going on, what you guys could be facing, how um, the outcome could possibly be. This is specifically for those that are um, in the shelter, those that have decided to go to shelters because the foundations or the areas that they lived in were either uh, told to evacuate. So this is a very urgent message. If you know anyone that is, that had to, you know, take shelter in a shelter, definitely, pass this on to them. This is a direct message that's coming through. So let's see what's going on here. I mean, let's see, because let's see what. Okay, let's see here. Wow. Okay. All right, so the energies are out, and let's just kind of dive into this. This is um, this is a message to all of those that are um, in shelters, or those who know people who, of course, took shelter in a shelter. This is a message for you guys. So I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm not seeing, yeah. So let's kind of dive right in. Um, so the heart of the matter, the universe is basically saying we have the advocate here, and it actually came up in reverse. So I usually just read that shadow aspect of it. And it's embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. And if you look at the card here, you see, an individual, they're showing their intention in something that they're trying to grow, a seed that has been planted, and they are, projecting energy and intention into the outcome of that plant or that seed. So anytime that you plant something in the ground, of course, you know, it's going to grow, and it's going to grow based on the intentions. So at this point, what's going on is we have a group of people that are playing the advocate role. They're playing the role of inspiring causes to come into being, but they're using these negative causes to embrace. They're, you know, to embrace. Actually, they're just, it's for personal gain. You know, they are getting something out of the energies that they're sending it to. So the heart of the matter is the fact that, you know, a lot of people that are currently in the shelters, you know, you guys need to be very careful, because there is definitely a hidden agenda, and they're using, actually, let me read the shadow aspect of what an advocate is. It inspires you to put compassion into action. So looks like there's a lot of groups out there. They're playing the advocate role, meaning they're creating a reality where it seems as though they're inspiring compassion to be put into action. They're doing it for personal gain. You know, there's some personal unbalanced energies penetrating from that idea. You have a group of people that can inspire compassion into action, but what they're doing is they are playing everyone. They're using these negative causes to gain, you know, for personal gain, not even on a, you know, collective level. It's just on an individual level where, you know, people are just being selfish. It's coming out. And they're using the aspect of the orphan child, or the child orphan, which the shadow attributes of the child orphan is feeling of abandonment, that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. So they're using the orphan child. They're using the fact that they know that people are, you know, feeling abandoned at this point. You know, they've been put out of their home. These are people that have went to the shelter, that they have been, you know, kind of in a sense forced from their home because of a disaster that's coming through. And they're using, you know, they're feeding off of that particular energy, and it will manifest itself. You know, when you go to these shelters, I've never really experienced it in that sense. You know, I have definitely, you know, heard, but I could imagine it's a very difficult situation, being that, you know, the situation is already stressful. So you have quite a few groups of people kind of pushed together into one area, in one space. The thing about this is that I actually had a dream, and it was recurring, and had it two nights in a row, the very week that we actually found out that Irma would be a threat. And I was in a building, or it seemed like a compound or some type of facility that was housing people that were trying to get out, and they couldn't. And there were plots, and there were schemes, and there were things that were going on within this facility, that people were talking of overthrowing the people that were over them. So, and I've heard this, you know, others have dreamed of these same situations that live here in in Florida, in South Florida. So definitely signs here that, you know, people, you know, just prepare yourselves. Truly prepare yourselves, because there's more to it than meets the eye. There's more to it than meets the eye. So you need to be prepared. You need to be on point and focused, and, you know, kind of getting yourself together within. And it's a time to understand. You know, we have to understand. We have to begin to take a stand in our knowings, not our beliefs. Beliefs, again, they change. We have to take a stand in our knowings, because, you know, you may be presented with a situation that, you know, because because people had, you know, malevolent intentions for personal gain. You know, you kind of brought that situation, you know, to yourself in a sense, because this is what Irma here, this is what she come to tell us. Some things that we need to get situated. So you can look at it in a negative aspect, or you can look at it in a positive aspect, and you can grow from the experience. But you will be faced, these are for those that are in the shelters right now, you will be faced with some challenges. I'm seeing the challenges. And they're using the fact that you had to abandon your things. You had to leave behind some things. You had to just, and you couldn't take very many, so you had to be very selective in what you chose. And most likely you're going to choose your most important documents or things like that you wouldn't want to be damaged in the event that it was catastrophic. So yeah, please, you guys, be mindful, be careful, be vigilant, you know, be in tune with yourself. You're going to be faced with something that someone has completely orchestrated. Completely orchestrated, and the most excuse me, and the this is the recent past position. So we have the compassion card that came out, the compassion archetype, and it actually came up in reverse. So it's betrayal by misusing confidences, loss of personal identity. And yeah, you know, just the reason for this. So the universe is basically saying the reason for this, the ones that are in the shelters and dealing with that will deal with some issues that will be going on in the shelters. Compassion. So either there has been some type of betrayal, or there has been some type of betrayal and or sacrifices that has been made, because you have kind of lost a sense of yourself. And this is the reason why, if you are one of those that will be in a situation like this, when it comes to people being in shelters, it's the universe is saying what's coming through is there has been a loss in your confidence. Like you've lost your identity. You have lost your identity. You have no idea who you are. You have no idea who you are. Because you, as well as, you know, the ones that are orchestrating it, you're a part of it. You've given off energy that has allowed it to grow. And the aspect of the reading that we do not know, the gambler came up in reverse as well. So the shadow attribute of the gambler is relying on luck rather than hard work. Relying on luck rather than hard work. And this has been like an underlying theme in this whole Irma preparation, the inner preparation. You know, people just, they don't want to do their work. They don't want to do the work. You know, you have to take action in order for change to come, and you have to put the work in. That means doing things that you normally wouldn't want to do. It's an inconvenience, or you know, you just don't want to deal with it. You don't want to put the work in, and the only way to change is you have to put that work in. You have to. You have to, because if you don't, you begin to lose your sense of self. And putting the work in is fueling the fire, fueling the soul, you know, igniting the passions within you. And again, back to your path. Irma has a path. She's a force. She's an energy field. She has a path, and you best believe she's going to carry that path out no matter what it is. How destructive it is or not, she's going to carry that path. So, you know, it's just basically a reminder to those, I mean, pretty much to everyone, but this reading is specifically for those that are right now dealing with this whole shelter thing, and, you know, just to be vigilant. And, you know, it was a gamble, you know, it was a gamble going there. And sometimes you just got to put that hard work in. And also willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. This is the gambler. So are you willing to gamble with your soul? Because that's pretty much what's at stake. That's what's at stake at this point. You're gambling for your soul at this point. Because if you have lost your personal identity, you definitely are a target for, you know, just, you know, creating someone else's reality and living an illusion that it's not serving you. It's not serving your highest purpose. So here at the very top of what's going on here, what we do know that what's going on is that people are turning their lyrics of gift to negative or destructive effect. So, you know, there are gifts. There are a lot of people out there that are gifted. There are a lot of people out there that are, they're talented with different abilities and different things to do, different things that they have been innately given. And, you know, when you lose your personal identity, it makes it difficult for you to develop these abilities or these gifts that you've been given. It makes it very difficult because, you know, you're not in line with yourself. And everyone, you know, at some point take the crossroads. You know, they either go right or left, but the path is straight through the middle. You know, it's because without light, there would be no darkness. So that's the two paths. You know, of, you know, the two extremes, black or white. But the path is through the center. It's being whole and balanced and, you know, in tune. So they're definitely using the lyric gift. I mean, what they're saying. They're manipulating it through words, like the repetitiveness of creating or stirring up anxiety, you know, and fear and control, conformity. Because the true poet will express, it expresses soul insights in symbolic language. So it uses symbology. It doesn't necessarily have to speak it in sort of, in a sense. It's going to show. There was definitely more to the gambler here. Let me see what's going on with that. Let's see. because we had a wild card, shapeshifter. He came up in reverse, so it's the shapeshifter. Okay, so let me see here. So the shadow attribute of the shapeshifter, because it came up in reverse, it's projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. And I mean, this is what came out. So we have the gambler and we have the shapeshifter both coming up in reverse. And it's basically saying you're taking a gamble when you deny truths and things that you know. When you deny these aspects of yourself, you're gambling. Because shape-shifting and its shadow attribute is basically, it's a selfish agenda. Projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. Like, you don't take a stand. You don't stand up for anything. Like, however the sale flows, as long as, you know, you're getting something from it, this is you. I mean, you have that ability. It's stating here, those that are, you know, dealing with these things, you have the ability to shapeshift. But when you shapeshift, it's a skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness. The ability to see the potential in everything. That's real shapeshifting. Like, that would be the balanced aspect of shapeshifting. Like, knowing in between. Like, at least taking a stand. An understanding. You know, taking an understanding, because you have the ability to shapeshift, and you have these are the light attributes. So those that are dealing with these issues and they're being put in this situation where these things are going to be tested, you know how when things go through fire, it either transforms them or it's going to burn them out, and they'll have to start over. So you have the ability, like, you're the gambler, you're the ultimate gambler. Willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. You are that gambler. This is you. These are some of the attributes that you possess. These are some of the powers that you possess. And you also have the ability to shapeshift. These are your abilities. These are things that you can do. It's just how you choose to use them. Are you using them to for personal gain? Like, is it for personal gain? Are you using them? Are they allowing you? Or are you using them in a sense where you're able to be your divine self, your sovereign self? Not, you know, being you can either be the shapeshifter or you can be influenced by it. So are you the one being influenced by the shapeshifter? You know, are you, you know, taking on the shape-shifting energy, or are you sending it out? And if you are sending it out, how? You know, what are your intentions? Is it for personal, selfish gain? And this is for all the shapeshifters that are out there. It's those that know how to shapeshift. Because you're also gambling, and so it could work either way. It could work, you know, to your advantage, or it could work to your disadvantage. It's up to you. It's how you see it. It's what you bring to the table. So these things will be tested. There's definitely something going on with these shelters. They have rallied a lot of people, and they're accommodating so many in the state of Florida. It's unbelievable. This might be an unprecedented time for that particular, these are some really trying times, and people who did choose to go to these shelters and, you know, be vigilant. This is a time to kind of like tune in There's going to be a lot of chaos, you know, going on. And, you know, it's not a call. It's a call to action. It's a call to understanding. Yeah. It's not a time to be fearful. You have to take a stand. You have to ignite that fire. And those that have these abilities, you know, you need to stand out. You need to stand out. Those that have these abilities and using them, you know, that is going to allow your path to open. Anytime you have these innate abilities, these abilities help you become whole upon your exit. These abilities help you become whole. So it's just how you use them. It's how you use them. Whatever you project out using the ability to shapeshift and to gamble, it's going to come back to you. It comes back. At the same measure you sent it out, it comes back. Nothing comes back void. You know, anything you send out is not void. It comes back to you. It will definitely come back. So I have one more card to pull. And I just want to encourage you guys. You know, it's a time to, you know, just kind of go over your principles, your tenets. Is there things that are no longer serving you? Are you not seeing, you know, are you not seeing what's alive in you? Who are you? And I don't mean the you that you appear to be, like to the core. Who are you to the core? You can put on a form. You can put on any form. People can put on any form nowadays. You can transform your whole body. True transformation comes in the heart and in the mind, and it starts with an idea first. Everything starts with the idea. So this is a really tough one. I'm not going to really go too much more into detail. I may come back with another update, but this is definitely for the people who have decided to go to these shelters and take refuge there. The last card that came out was the Queen. So could have a it could have something to do with either a male presence, because it's in reverse. It could have been a heavy male presence in this. The outward is a heavy male presence, but inward it's saying that it's the Queen. It's the Queen. It's in reverse. So, but what I'm getting from the card is they're going to appear like they're dominant, like male dominant, or like the energy that's coming forth is male energy. It's not. It's actually female energy. They're powering these events with the female energy, because in the last reading, you know, Irma was saying that it was the goddesses, and then here we have the Queen. She was the last one to speak in the deck, so it's surrounding a feminine energy. They're planning something. They're implanting something in these shelters. They're implanting something in these shelters. Those that you just be very, this is what's coming through. And they're using the female energy to do it. So they're using the female energy. Wow. Well, let me read you the attributes here. The shadow attributes, it came up in reverse. It becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. And the light attributes of the queen is radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. So, yeah, oh wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. So, yeah, you guys be careful. Be vigilant. You know, it's time to take an inner stand. It's time to, whatever you believe in, like truly believe in, it's time to know. You know, it's no more guessing. This is not a drill. There's no more guessing in this. Especially if you're in that and you're that in that specific situation, there's no guessing. There's no guessing. This is not a drill. So please, 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 I don't know if you pray, you have family members, you know, that are in shelters. You know, I would suggest you make sure you keep, you know, as much as you can contact. You have some form of contact or a way of contact or something. Some form of communication where you would be able, in the event that something does, that, you know, something happens, you know, you guys got something where it's set up. Because from my understanding, they were actually moving prisoners. I was seeing on the news, they were actually moving prisoners as well. This is, you know, and at the direction that Irma is currently going at this, you know, at this moment, like, I'm not saying this is, you know, it can be a good look. It's not a good look, but it's all in the minds of the people and our perspectives and what we've been putting out there. And now it's time to take your stand. Like, you know, are you going to be on sides? Are you going to choose this side? Are you going to choose the right? Are you going to choose the left path? You know, choose the one down the road, the one in the middle. This is where you're, you know, that's the projection of the soul, of that sunfire. And, you know, when it's shut down, you know, where's the light when it shuts down? What's going on with the light? It's being fed something. Because just like you have with the solar eclipse,